Hey! Before we get started with our discussion of Walking Dead, we have a big announcement to make. We're going to be doing a name change for our channel on YouTube.
We are now STS Enterprises.
STS Enterprises.
STS Space Enterprises.
We're hoping that this name change will start flooding in the views.
By this time next week, we'll be recording from our helicopter, lighting our cigars with $1,000 bills
Yes.
on the way to our private island.
Shooting the Shit is a fine name, but it's kind of hard to search for.
We still refer to ourselves as shooting the shit, because that's how we started. Those are our roots.
Yeah, and STS
But,
still stands for shooting the shit.
But what will appear for the title and like for searching purposes, it would be STS Enterprises.
So there you go,
That's a good
STS
fit.
Enterprises. We have commenced. Here we are,
Classy.
STS Enterprises.
Time to Enterprise.
In the not-too-distant future, Beth was killed by a cop.
You both know that. so
The
do that.
zombies are everywhere, and Rick is trying to do...
Trying not to pop. Da-da-da.
Daryl might be possibly gay, and Carol woke up from her coma. They try to save those special characters, and Tyrese gives really bad advice. Zombie roll call.
Moaner.
Twitchy. It's Drooler. Gross. If you're wondering if they haven't died.
Or have problems with their teeth. La la la. Just repeat to yourself, it's Walking Dead.
It's also on AMC. It's time to review Walking Dead with Shooting the Shit
3000.
Hello and welcome to the mid-season finale review from Shooting the Shit. I am Oxnard. With me is Boss,
Hello.
Dexter,
Are we doing a voice? I am Dexter. I am Hoss.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the yucks. Dexter, how did you feel about episode 8 of season 5 of The Walking Dead entitled Coda?
Nobody treats Percy like that.
Percy, quite a wondrous character.
Old,
Yes,
gray, wrinkly,
Bearded.
like strawberries, gets in cahoots with little blonde girls.
Terrible fake cougher. Can't sew.
Yeah, that's
of
everything
things-
we know about that character.
Falls to ground.
There's nothing else.
Can't act like he's coughing naturally.
He's an honorable man.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Likes
I want a
his vitamin
whole,
C.
like, little spin-off about Percy.
Yeah,
Percy?
His misadventures, his shenanigans.
Standing tall with Percy.
He's always doing favors for young-looking blonde women.
And also being bullied because his name is Percy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
And
he always has to do menial tasks that people think he knows how to do, but he really doesn't know how to do
Is
it
that
all.
your purse, Percy?
Yeah.
It's a satchel.
And one of the cops had their way with him.
Of course, Percy's
definitely
grade A
happened.
man meat.
That it guaranteed.
Ew.
that
Percy's
that
behind is so fine.
happened. All right. So the episode
Moving on.
starts with it's a lot of dramatic shots.
The beginning of the episode is my favorite parts of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Because Rick
see,
was allowed to
Rick
be a
gets down to
badass.
business.
He fucking nails this
Yeah,
guy.
could've
Yeah,
tapped
in
so-
the back with the car. He
really
told him to
went-
stop.
he really
All he
went
had
for
to
it.
do was stop.
He should have said stop or I'll break your spine.
Bob the cop is trying to escape.
really.
Rick
I'm gonna make
is
him stop.
chasing him in the car. I
Yeah.
guess like after, because last episode it ended. That was
He
the
was
last-
That's how it
away.
ended, where he ran away, and
Yeah.
then Rick is
And
chasing
Rick's
him.
spidey sense tingled.
Yeah, so Rick apparently
It's
just.
grimy sense.
Yeah.
I wish we understood how Rick figured out, like, oh, this guy's trying to escape. Like, where was he when he saw him running away or something?
Don't matter.
You'll never know.
Don't matter. He got him.
Yeah, you got him.
Okay, kills this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bob's
well, I
dead.
like how the guy's laying down there, and he's like, help me! You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! Help me! You son of a bitch!
You're crazy.
I think you broke your back. Oh, you're gonna die, you son of a
Yeah.
bitch! But then Rick gives him they have a nice little cool chat, blows his head off, then he tells him to shut up.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wasted a bullet though. You know.
Why not?
How many Magnum bullets
No.
can you possibly find?
Please.
Dude, Rick's a gunslinger, man. The whole shot is set up like something for like a few more dollars or a good, the bad, and the ugly. He's got the cowboy boots. He's got
Greasy
the six-shooter on his hip. Yeah, the greasy hair.
Thick beard.
It's like he's out in the desert with this guy. The buzzards are circling,
Right.
and he comes up. This guy crossed him. And like the
was a good
sun
shot.
is behind him.
Even though he just
You
murdered
can't,
somebody.
he's silhouetted. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, spaghetti western.
Then he has to throw
he
in the
killed a
tough.
guy in
I never
cold
get
blood.
tough talking dead bodies though.
We need more westerns, man.
tell him to shut up and then shoot him.
You understand how cool westerns are?
Yeah, westerns are fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. Remember Fistful of Dollars? We were watching that.
No.
Which is the one that has the scene where like the guy keeps drawing his gun, the guy kept slapping him in the face over and over again. Was that Fistful of Dollars?
I can't remember, and I don't want to be at risk of someone saying, "You fucking idiot, you don't like westerns at all." Because I honestly don't remember.
They bore me.
True Grit, the Coen Brothers True Grit, I thought was
I don't
fucking
think I've ever
awesome.
seen that.
True Grit is amazing.
That's one of the best movies.
That's the same thing as like
think
There
I've
Will
just
Be
seen,
Blood.
period.
It's one of those movies that I can just, if it's on, I'll watch it.
Because the writing is so superb. And the
Yes.
language that's used
Absolutely.
throughout the movie. Superb, I said it. You got a fucking problem with that?
A little bit.
You got a problem with that?
So superb. Yeah. All right. So the priest,
Egregious.
the priest is walking around as he's going back to the school because apparently he's trying to find something, but he comes across Bob's leg. Another Bob who
I think
dies.
he wanted to see that they were eating him or something.
Yeah, he had to prove that, like, okay, those people did deserve it. He had to, like, justify in his own mind that those people did deserve to die.
Right.
So that he could move forward. Because then when he dumbly makes his way back, he's like, I don't want to run anymore. So, like, he's, like, accepted, almost now, finally, he's accepted this is life.
Yeah, this priest character.
He couldn't have gone through this before we
I
met
kind of
him.
wish he was the one who was killed.
Yeah.
Because
yeah?
he's going to be a hindrance. You know,
Yes.
he's going to be like.
Well, I think that, Beth was gone, so it was going to be the hindrance now.
Well, was Beth really a hindrance? She was just like a thing that was kind of important to a few characters, and they just
Well,
wanted to
I
get
think
her back.
she was she used
But
to be
she
more
took
of a
action.
hindrance. She was a hindrance and then grew out of it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't see when they were on Herschel's farm and he met her, because she tried to kill herself.
Yeah, last week you were
and
talking
she
about
was,
Herschel's farm. And how,
yeah, she was like mopey and, I don't know, just a troublemaker to me. Well, not a troublemaker, but she, like, she did things, I think, if I'm remembering it, that like kind of clouded the judge. You know, she affected people negatively because of her actions towards herself and how she was dealing with things. So I think that's the kind of hindrance that she was. But she definitely did grow out of it. But she did get herself caught. My voice cracked there.
Yeah, why is your voice cracking now
know.
recently?
Too excited.
Did you
I'm
just
going through puberty, guys.
Yeah, he baked
Oh, finally.
before,
It's
now
happening.
he's can't speak like a man.
I got hair under my arms now, and on my balls. My balls have hair.
This is what you want to hear, right?
Oddly enough, I think that is what people want to hear.
That may be. Some people do want to hear that.
All right. So we have this great scene. One of my favorite scenes was when Rick is like the lone guy confronting the two other officers to do the
that was
exchange.
cool.
And you have the snipers in the
Hold
movie
on.
of Sasha and Daryl. Yes?
Hold on, no. The funny part about that comment is we just skipped about a half hour.
Yeah, we
But I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Just
No, we
saying,
can go
it's
back.
Really, one of the big things that
Nothing
happens,
else important,
just real
I think.
quick. Well, just real quick before
Well, I think
Oxnard
early on
continues.
in the review, you want to talk about the highlights
Okay.
and then stuff.
Well,
like
let me just say
that. Yes.
before. What was I gonna say? Now I forgot. Oh, they just say that they agree that guy was eaten by rotters.
Yes.
The guy that Rick killed. Okay, continue.
And then we made a joke saying, can't we all agree on a single fucking name for these zombies? Because every group of people has like this different name
Yeah.
for them.
And it does get confusing.
What would our name be?
DKs?
Our
Like,
name,
okay, the three of us were stuck in like a cabin in the woods and there's a zombie. apocalypse.
the undead.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't we just call them zombies?
we
we
don't
when we're
call 'em
talking
zombies.
about the show, we refer to them as zombies.
Yeah.
I think so. I
Okay,
think it would be
so
zombies.
pretend the term zombie never existed. What's your secondary term?
Stinkers.
Stinkers?
Stinkers? Oh no, another stinker. Sounds like like a little snarky
wobbler.
little kid.
I'm a
Wobbler.
fucking douchebag.
Wobbler?
Got a zigzagger coming. I like drooler, Oxnard. You said droolers before.
Yeah,
That's
droolers.
uh
Got a group of droolers heading this way.
Infectors.
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 Always has an error on it.
I'd probably just call them dead. Like another dead one is coming or something.
All right. Anyway, I love that scene with Rick and then the Sasha
that
with the
was
gun
awesome.
and Daryl with the sniper rifle. And,
Again, another fucking Western style,
Right.
Western movie style
like
moment.
like a little showdown or something.
Yeah,
or like
high noon.
like a power play with guns and
I think they
southern
knew,
accents.
I think they knew that zombie was going to come walking because they needed that.
They needed that zombie.
for the intimidation
That was very
factor.
cool because the zombie shows up
Right.
and that gives those other two guys the
I would
idea.
have actually liked it even more if they showed the group capturing one walker like that.
Yes, yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
right.
see like somebody's down there, and then they're like, "All right, let him go." You know what I mean? Like,
For some reason, the zombie walks away from the person who lets it go.
I don't know. He throws like a piece of meat,
Yeah.
like a finger or
I don't
something. Well, whatever. Look, I'm not there.
It was fortunate to have that.
I'm not here to work out the logistics of it. Okay, they just should have done it.
Another favorite scene that I had is with Beth and the Hitlerina. She has a confrontation with the other cop, and I was saying as we were watching, I was like, I'm pretty sure Hitlerina is like in love with Beth. She's start talking about like wars,
Lesbian
and stuff.
overtones in the conversation.
Maybe not that, but maybe it's more like, oh, she senses that this person is easily manipulated, so I want this person to be a part of my group or something like that. So it doesn't even matter if it's Beth or if it's the other guy or something. She just wants to ward. She wants to have that control over someone, which in some perverse way leads to being like infatuated with them in some way.
No.
I might be over analyzing it.
There's a point in there.
Well, now we'll never know because those two characters are now dead.
Oh man, that was wild.
Let's
I did
just
not
talk
see
about that.
that
Let's
coming.
just talk
All right, let's
about
just-
that.
So we'll jump right to the exchange.
Yes.
So Rick and the group, they come up with the police officers. They also have the other two police officers from the meeting that they had in the parking lot, and those guys just go forward. And then you see Carol and Beth are brought out. It's kind of like a standoff, but everybody's holstered their weapons. And they make an exchange first with the guy who looks like a baby's head on a Hulk body, kind of.
Yeah.
He goes first. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And
The woman, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So they go first, and then Carol comes first, and then it's like, oh, okay, time for Beth and the other one. And then Hitlerina decides, no, this isn't good enough. I got to look, I guess, tough or something, or strong in front of these idiots.
She's trying to do a power play.
Yeah, she can't control herself. Also, she really wanted this kid back, so she says, now I just need Noah, and then he can go. And then Rick gets super pissed off.
Right.
And then...
As he should.
yeah, I liked Rick's reaction a lot, actually. I thought Andrew Lincoln was awesome in that scene, because he's like... I just like the way he carried himself, and like... The way he spoke,
the deal
like,
is
about
done.
the deal
The
is done.
exchange is done.
And he's like, no! Because his body language is like, no, fuck that! He didn't say it, but I don't know, I just loved that part.
Yeah.
But then they end up...
I wish
Noah
this was,
gives himself up.
I wish this was like on HBO and stuff so they can curse.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd
that
be
would
cursing
awesome.
nonstop. I would be cursing.
That would be really
fucking
awesome.
up a storm. Yeah.
Well, that made me want to bring something else up, but I won't because we'll get way off topic. But maybe later. But anyway, Noah gives himself. He says, "No, it's all right. I'll do this." He disarms himself. Then Beth gives him a big hug goodbye because she thinks it's wrong as well. And then while she's hugging him, the Hitlerina says, "I knew you would be back," to Noah, and Beth shoots her gigantic eyes at that Hitlerina, and she had tucked some scissors into her cast, some surgical scissors, and then what did she say to Hitlerina? I can't even remember now.
She says like you want.
Oh, I get it now, she says.
Yeah,
I
like,
get it now.
Yeah.
And then she quickly stabs her like in between the in the collarbone area next to the shoulder.
Yeah.
I think
And
she was trying
boom,
to go for
gun
the
goes
heart,
off.
and it just
I thought she was going to go for like a neck. That's
I
what
thought maybe she was trying to go for the neck. Yeah, but she was very close to her because they were kind of like
Right.
face to face almost. So she just kind of stabs her in that area, collarbone area, and then boom, gun goes off. Didn't even know that Hitlerina had drawn a gun, and Beth is dead just like that, bullet to the head.
Yeah.
And then everybody's freaking out, slow mo, people in shock, crying.
Daryl.
I thought that.
Poor Daryl.
I
Poor
thought
Carol.
that Beth was going to give the scissor to Noah, and he was going to try to stab her. So
That might have been
Yeah.
interesting
they
because
surprised me.
as
I
he
didn't know.
walked
I did
behind
not- I did
her,
not see that coming.
as he walked behind her, he could have had the scissors maybe, and then just kind of
Right.
turn around, and stab her in the head or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
But then basically Daryl pulls out a handgun and shoots Hitlerina right in the head, so that's the end of that. War's over, boys.
Yeah, and
Going home.
I almost sense like there was a bit of relief from the rest of the people there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, this is over now. Because that woman,
They got him.
Woman was a menace.
I don't understand that. I wish they would explain why this woman was the way she was. And they had a little backstory where she was talking about, this is Hanson all over again.
Well, see, this is the thing. That's why. So they did explain. They just didn't outright have like another character say. I mean, they said she's losing control because of her more of her because of her inactions, because she let people like these people with weird names like Gorman and
Percy.
Yeah, no, not Percy. Percy's a saint, you bastard.
He's a strawberry.
Percy never done a bad thing in his life.
That's right. That's what you think.
So
should have seen what he did to the potatoes and the gerbils or whatever the hell they're eating.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah.
He fucked them. That's what the boss is implying.
Percy style.
So I was thinking that he just like wiped his shit on him or something just to get
Wiped his shit on him.
Yeah, before he fed it to the cops.
He's like he's preparing the gerbil for Hitlerina's dinner, and he just wipes his ass with the gerbil first.
Exactly, that's what I
Here
was
you go,
suggesting.
Hitlerina.
I don't know why Oxnard was suggesting that he had sex with the guinea
You are
pig.
sick.
I don't know.
Percy would never in a million years even think
I guess
of
I have a
doing
sick
such a
mind.
thing.
Anyway.
But what the hell were we saying?
You were explaining the backstory of...
So anyway, yeah, so there is that scene where she said how he lost control, like people took, basically, I guess it seemed like people like those asshole people, he couldn't control them. And so she basically caves in to whatever they're doing. She lets them get away with rape and mistreating the people and taking advantage of everyone else, really, including her, because they don't fuck with her then. You know what I mean? So that's why she lets them get away with it. But then when that one guy who was bullying Percy about, and then he hears near the elevator shaft how Hitlerina was saying to Beth, like, I helped you cover up the thing, you're a cop killer, he heard the whole story. They have that confrontation, and she starts accusing him of, like, being such a bad person. She's just as bad.
Yeah.
Because he was saying, you stood by and laughed while you raped that poor woman. Well, she stood by and let them laugh while that poor woman was raped. Because she just wanted to be in control. I don't know. So in the end, she couldn't help herself. Like, she had to be in control because she was so afraid not to be.
Yeah. Man, but I wish it was like a little flashback or something to explain exactly.
No, I got you.
Like the pivot point, the turning to make this character.
See,
the
but
way
it was
she
all
is.
from Beth's perspective, so that's why that would
well, now they
be
missed
too
an
much for that character. Plus, you might sympathize too much with that character.
Well, give me something. Here's the thing, like not.
Well,
those
they did. It was just the dialogue. That's what they gave.
Yeah, but now those characters are dead. You're never going to get the full story because they're never going to unless they.
Well, we kind of did though.
What happened at Hanson?
I can't even remember now, but she explains. she explains Hanson and what happened,
Something
or she
happened-
gives her version of what happened, and because she's the one that killed Hanson.
You could easily just throw in like a quick little, especially because those characters are going to die, and I wonder if they.
Yeah,
even
but that
filmed
changes the kind of format of the show because the only flashbacks that they've had in this season, anyway, to my recollection, are for characters that are part of this group. They had that governor episode last season, but that was
It just
last
seems like
season.
so much buildup. Like we had 3 episodes. There were these slow episodes.
Yeah, I know.
All about the hospital.
To that.
For
Yeah,
Beth,
to that.
all about Beth's for her to die.
No, I agree.
And
It
the
sucked. I
the
didn't like
payoff wasn't. It didn't earn that payoff.
Right.
No, it was very surprising what happened.
Right.
It definitely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't like. My wife was like upset. It's like,
I'm
why?
upset. I'm a little upset because I'm like,
upset. 'Cause
No,
it could've been
upset
better.
because Beth died. She's like, oh,
Well,
Beth.
that doesn't upset me.
Oh, Beth! And then she's talking about people were all like, oh, people are really upset about Beth. And I was like, why? Why? Who cares about Beth that
I'm not
much?
upset about Beth.
I'm just upset because I thought Carol was going to die instead.
I'm upset because I don't really get the full idea of what they were trying to go for. I wanted more. Like, explain to me exactly what's going on. Especially because you said this is not in the comics. They just made this up.
No, this is this story arc is.
So I want to
They
know.
need to hear this story we made up.
Yeah, like, explain to me why this story you felt was so
Well,
necessary
see,
for
this
a
is-
fucking
Well, this is my
popular
theory.
show.
I think they're trying to bridge a gap between the governor,
Douchedom and shitstorm.
kind of, in a way. Or it was more like from shitstorm to bigger shitstorm. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, here's like a tropical storm, You know what I mean? And then here's a hurricane. You know what I mean? So that's what they're trying to do. But they don't want it, because I don't want to say anything because I know you want to read the comics yet, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But I think that's why. Like, I think there would be something that people would draw too many parallels, or would come off as too similar to things we've just gotten over. So they had to like stretch out and put like this kind of essentially filler in.
Right.
That's how I'm looking at it.
It's like a fucking Japanese anime, all these filler episodes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
but having said all this...
Goku has to learn how to drive!
I love that fucking episode. How dare you? Piccolo wears a baseball cap backwards and shorts.
Goku, I don't think I know how to handle a stick shift.
It's a classic. Of course you do! I've seen you handle...
Goku, you have to focus your energies.
Wow!
Whoa, Kinkai! Look at this, I'm driving a Honda!
All right, so the big three from this episode. Beth is dead.
That's the big one, yeah.
Hitlerina's dead.
One thing I liked was Rick, kind of trying to get his way. His more brutal way, because he kills Bob.
Right.
And then he's talking to Daryl after go back, and he's like, well, original plan ain't gonna work now, bud. So we gotta go with my plan. Take them all down. And then they still have to, like, convince him, like, no, we can still salvage this plan. He's like, God damn it. How many more people that we have do I have to kill? I kind of looked at it in that way, where he was...
Is that
almost
the lesson?
like took the opportunity to kill this guy so that he could enforce his more vicious plan.
Is that the lesson I should...
Well, what I take away from that is that he is becoming more violent, much more violent than he.
So if the zombie
he's going in a different direction than everybody else. Still,
if the zombie apocalypse happens in real life, I just need to be as brutal as possible. That's the way to do it. Like, immediately, I should just try and hunt you guys down and take you
not
out.
us.
Not us. Last,
we band together, but no.
Yeah, but
he does it for the group.
The moment you
Rick
disagree
does it for
with
the group.
me, should I just put a bullet in your head?
No, Rick doesn't do that either.
But
what? I'm staying away from you when the zombie apocalypse goes down. Although you'll come to me, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'll
that
be
sounds
right
like
there.
Boss. I expect that from Boss, but not you, Oxnard. I'm very disappointed.
I'll be dead in seconds. I've said this before in another...
His doorbell will ring. Hello.
I think he's like, is that the zombie apocalypse? He kills himself. Yeah. No, it's just a truck driving by.
All right, yeah. So overall thoughts?
I think that was an important point to take away from this mid-season finale. Is like the group's going more towards the light, Rick's going more towards the dark in a way.
Okay,
that's how I've kind of interpreted it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Boss, what's going to happen from here? What are your predictions for the rest of the season?
Well, they showed what's his face for some reason at
Morgan.
the end. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the Morgan thing.
Yeah,
So
which,
that was
by the way,
stupid.
I
He
downloaded
likes-
a torrent, and the torrented episode didn't have the Morgan scene, so we had to watch it on YouTube afterwards.
What a hassle.
Yeah, oh, God.
It took like 10 seconds.
Oh, just modern technology is so annoying.
And apparently Morgan likes Rick because he smiled when he read his name, but I don't know how that's leading to anything important.
All it's doing is basically Morgan's going the wrong way now.
It seems like Morgan is always like 3 or 4 steps behind everyone else. Like he's
Yeah.
always he turned up at Terminus after everything happened. Now he turned up at the church after everything happened.
Yeah.
Now probably like next episode he's going to turn up at the hospital after everything happened.
No, he's not going to turn up at the hospital. He's not even going to go there. He's going to Washington.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. That was the whole point. He picked up the map and he sees the message from Abraham from that other earlier episode saying the new world is going to need Rick Grimes. And there's like basically like, here's the road we're taking and the destination is DC on the map. So he's going there now.
Other big thing that happened in the episode, Abraham's back. Glenn, Maggie, they all come back. He rides that fire truck right into the church.
He rides it. He's on the top, on the ladder.
He's swinging a lasso.
It's like Slim Pickens on the atomic bomb.
They're back. They get the story, and then they head
Eugene's
over to the
napping in
hospital.
the back seat.
Glenn stabs a zombie, and then at that exact moment, that's when Daryl's coming out with Beth in his arms. She's
And Glenn's
dead.
like, God damn it, I'm never getting laid again.
Yeah, oh, God.
My life is
Long as
perpetually depressed.
Yeah, mourning.
First
I'm not
her
in the
dad,
mood.
now her sister. I'm never going to hear the end of it.
I married her for the poon.
How would a divorce work in the zombie apocalypse?
You kill her, I guess.
Or zombifier.
Yeah. Oh, she was bit. She didn't tell me.
Who's he saying that to? She's bit.
Did
She
you
didn't tell me.
Did you like the
guys?
Did you like the cop fight and Beth pushing the guy in the elevator?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Beth. Yeah. All right.
How about Beth trying to help out during that fight? Like, let me massage your shoulders, person beating up Hitlerina.
I thought the guy went for
That was a good fight, though.
The guy went for the choke grab against the wall, lifting her. I don't think that's a very efficient way to kill somebody.
You should have just
kept
kept
tiring you out.
Should have just
Don't
kept
you wanna-
hammering her
don't you wanna
midsection.
Beat him on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna pick you up and lift you up dramatically.
He could have just
against
kept.
the wall.
He could have just kept punching her in the
Yeah.
stomach. She would have
Yeah.
lost, all the air out of her. So, and then
If she was
and
Tyrese,
then he could have wailed on her.
If he was Tyrese, I would have bought that. But on this new
Well,
guy,
Tyrese
who we
goes
don't
into
know,
like an animalistic
Right,
like
exactly.
rage, like
But
we
we
saw
don't-
outside the cabin.
This is just some dude. I don't think he'd do
Some
that.
dude. He made creepy faces.
Yeah, he was
made-
super creepy. That cop. Right?
He made face. He looked at
He
Percy.
had this greasy hair come to the side.
He was like, he gave like these looks to Percy that said, "I both loathe you and desire you." It was quite disturbing.
Yeah.
And then the same look came from his beady little eyes as he looked at Hitlerina until
That guy looks so familiar, and I think I nailed it. He looked like Mike Staklasa, the guy from Red Letter Media.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mr. Plunkarp.
He didn't look anything like that guy.
I thought he did.
No, the heavier set guy,
No,
half in the back.
guy was Beth who killed.
No, he looked nothing like that guy.
I was getting a vibe.
Absolutely incorrect.
Well, I think people will agree with me.
I disagree.
We'll let the internet decide.
No, I think your instincts are terrible.
Your instincts of what people look like are terrible. What kind of eyes do you have?
They definitely look nothing. Usually, you're pretty good because you always spot people that look a lot like me. And Alan Alda looks like my dad.
Right.
You notice that? Alan Alda looks like exactly.
Every time I say
Very
Alan
similar to
Alda,
my father.
because he lives across the street from me,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, is that Dexter's dad? No,
just Al.
Alan Alda.
You're just call him Al. So you guys are close.
And he gives me the finger.
Fuck you, Oxnard. Hey, Oxnard. Why don't you go fuck yourself? We'll be right back after this little commercial break.
Hey kids, consoles are everywhere. Get the best one. Plortski 4.
Special made.
What is this?
It's for games. 45 memories. RAM? We got it. Look, new game. Escape Stalin 3. Mustache of Terror. Very expensive, though, to make and to buy. I love to play. 5 controllers? Why not 2?
The little children, they don't know.
No, they should not know. This is not for children. Plortski 4. That's why I support government. Plortski 4 is a subsidiary of Ergoslav Mart. Batteries never included, and it's no batteries required. Plortski 4. Comments?
Sure.
Big Will 1919 says,
Since The Walking Dead season is over, you guys should do a Battlestar Galactic discussion.
Big
It
Will.
deals with a lot of the same themes as The Walking Dead, just done 10 times better.
to which I responded, Traitors contact.
To which I respond, I've never seen Battlestar Galactic, but we can do Battlestar Galactica.
Yes,
What a
Battlestar
jerk.
Galactica.
Big Will, you fucked it up!
I love Battlestar Galactica, but Battlestar Galactica, I haven't really.
You haven't got into that one. Have to check it out. Maybe it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I gotta check that. Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Obviously, we're here.
I love Battlestar Galactica, man.
That was like
oh my, God.
religion for a while.
Wow.
That was on for.
Boss fell asleep. I'm gonna rat you out right now.
Do it, I don't care.
I'd watch it, being a friend of ours
I don't care.
who was. Oh, I'm ratting. I'm a canary
I'm
boy.
proud of that.
Oh my God. So I'd be watching it at a friend's house.
It would only be the
Boss
intro.
would be there. And
It's
the
the music.
drums,
Every time
the
it would
drums
start.
would get him.
Yeah, you said the drums would like lull you into like sleep.
Yeah, every time the show would start, I'd hear the drums or
I'd be like on the edge of my seat
I
while
would
Colonel
fall
Ty
asleep.
is just
I
fucking
fell
talking.
asleep every time I tried to watch that show.
Yeah, but
You
that
missed
show
all the best coddle moments.
No, honestly, like
His
that
surliness.
that show came out of nowhere, and like our friend introduced us to it, and it's like Battlestar Galactica. That's a good show because you were just thinking like
nerd.
yeah, you were thinking like oh, sci-fi made Battlestar Galactica. That sounds
First of all, it
stupid.
was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
So right away, I ignored it, and I actually remember I actually saw like 5 minutes of the episode when Bulldog returns. Do you remember that?
yes.
Okay. So I saw parts of that and having no idea what the fuck the show was at all. So then I was like, nah. And then it was like, I watched for a few minutes and it went to a commercial. That's not one of the better episodes anyway. And then I just changed the channel. And then a friend of ours was like, oh, well, let's go to Best Buy. I want to get something and then I want to watch it with you. And I was like, what do you want to get? And he wouldn't tell me. So finally I was like, just tell me what it is. He's like, Battlestar Galactica. And I was like, what? Why the fuck do I want to watch that? And then I was like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen in my life. Because we
Yeah.
watched the miniseries thing, and then we watched like 4 more episodes.
Hold on one second. I'm watching this
I'm
scene
geeking
again.
out.
I'm watching this scene from Walking Dead again with Rick, and he's in front of the guys in the cop car.
Yeah.
Look at the haircuts on these cops. What? Look at that.
He's got like a Derek Jeter kind.
Is that a zombie apocalypse look?
Yeah, but they live in a
They
hospital.
live in the hospital.
Yes.
They have
Look
Like
at
a
her.
barber?
Everybody's
They
clean
got a
shit.
barber?
That guy Gorman was like perfectly smooth, hairless cheeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
maybe
was
that's part
like
of her
gleaming.
regime. They have
We
to
were
pay-
texting each other. And
He was resplendent in his cleanliness.
Boss said a discussion point is like, how hairy would you be during the zombie apocalypse? And I said very, and then I was saying like, even like the hottest girl you can imagine would be like a troll after like 2 weeks. in
The
a zombie-
stink that would be coming off
Yes,
the men and the
everyone-
women. All you're
everyone
going to
would be
smell is
disgusting.
fucking balls and vagina.
Yeah,
It's going to be like disgusting, like vinegary balls and like just the gross, fishy vagina smell. It's going to be fucking disgusting.
We'd revert back to like caveman kind of things, where like that would start to turn you on. Like, oh, she's so smelly.
Yeah. It's like that's what you call. Yeah, that's what we would call them rotters.
Oh, God.
That's gross.
That's why the show is so misleading. It's like you're not gonna have like chicks like Maggie
Yeah.
walking around
Fuck
with their
no.
tight fucking pants
Yeah,
showing
right.
off her
Yeah,
figure.
Glenn's-
That's what I was saying before. Where did she find those fucking jeans? If I was Glenn, I'd be like, take those, put something else on right now. You're driving me crazy.
And Glenn's gonna be like, oh, her sister died. Thank goodness. She's not gonna be in the mood for a long time. Yes.
Yeah, but if they revert back to a caveman type mentality,
bonk him on the head. Have
yes,
your way.
drag them back to the cave.
Claimed.
Yeah. These girls aren't gonna have their like.
Well, that's what a lot of
sexy
people
long
do, though.
Eyelashes and their fancy hair and their makeup and their tight-fitting, form-fitting clothes.
Maggie just walks around with those fucking jeans on. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, we'd be fucking
Rosita?
walking around
What about
in rags.
Rosita?
You'd be walking around. You'd just basically be stapling leaves
they have
to yourself.
Rosita.
Rosita,
They
get
have
those
clothes.
fucking pigtails out of your head.
Yeah,
You're
she always
begging
has-
to be raped by somebody.
Not that
Somebody is going to be looking from a window, some maniac. Because you see how many, all of a sudden, so many people resort, 80% of the male population resorts to rape in these scenarios. So they're just going to be walking around, they're going to be like, dibs on the pigtails. You know that's
God.
going to happen.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we're gonna walk around in rags and leaves. They have.
Can you
access
imagine
to
how
clothes.
different-
No, but you don't need pigtails.
Can you imagine how different
That's
the show
true.
would be if
That's
it was
true.
like,
Too
That's true.
enticing, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
sexualized.
Yes.
if the show was directed by like the Game of Thrones directors, how different it would be?
Oh,
If this show was on HBO, there'd be, oh my god.
yeah,
It'd be unwatchable to me, probably.
Yeah.
It would be
It'd be
so hard to
horrifying.
watch.
Yeah, it's
hard
humanity
to watch.
at its lowest fucking
You'd have
point.
people like you know how the governor kept heads and drawers. Someone like a governor type character probably keep zombies to fuck.
Yeah,
He'd probably be fucking
Just-
zombies.
just tie
and
'em
we'd
up.
have to watch it.
yeah,
because it's not TV.
and that's not a joke.
You
We're
ever
not
get a
fooling around.
blowjob from a zombie, son?
Like, humans are
Change
that
your
fucked
world.
up.
You ever get a right job?
All right, so what were we doing?
We're talking about Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, anyway,
yeah.
what was I saying?
Well, you were like
Oh,
geeking
anyway.
out.
Oh, I was saying, and then, yeah, then we watched the next for like 4 episodes after that, and like those are like the first 2 episodes after that are some of my favorite episodes of the season, where it's 33 minutes. Oh my god! And I met Edward James Olmos, who was a wonderful man.
And I remember you called me, but I was busy. I didn't have my phone.
Yeah,
I had my phone
supposed to
outside,
come.
and you left a message. I always remember this message because you said, "Hey, Oxnard, pick up, you fucking idiot! Edward James Olmos is right here, and he's willing to talk to you."
Oh my god! I forgot about
I got that like hours later. And I was like, "Fuck!" That
He
would
have spoken to you.
because you guys went to like a.
So there was like a sci-fi convention, and
He would have quoted something.
it was
too.
more of like a short notice. It was a very short notice thing, and so we just it was me and like 2 other friends of ours, and we just drove out. It was like an hour away, so we just drove out there, and he was there. The actress who played Kat, you remember Kat? And oh god, who else was there? The original from the original Star Trek. Who's the Russian guy? I can't remember his name. I'm blanking all of a sudden.
I forget his name.
Smirnoff?
No, Scotty was a Scottish guy.
Scotty. Captain.
Spock.
We can't hold it together, Captain.
Yeah. No, this was like, what the fuck's his
Chekhov.
name? Chekhov.
Chekhov.
Yes. So he was there. George Romero was at this thing, but he was in like a separate room.
That Cuban Lithuanian.
Probably
bastard.
drunk. Anyway, I felt like part of me like hates meeting like celebrities and things from like my favorite
But I
shows.
drive an hour to see them.
No, I'm just saying because I always feel embarrassed after speaking to them. Like, why did I say that? You know what I mean? Kind of
That
thing.
happens every
Because
time.
I got so nervous, and then so later on the line kind of like dissipated, and he was just hanging out there. So we went up and we're just like talking to him, and like one of the only things I remember was that the question I felt embarrassed about, which was I was just like I kept asking him about the actor who plays Colonel Ty.
Colonel Ty, yeah.
Because I was obsessed with Colonel Ty. I loved Colonel Ty.
Canadian
and,
actor.
I think Michael Hogan is his name.
Michael Hogan, yes.
And I was like, him and Doc Cottle were like 2 of my top
Who played
characters.
the scientist guy, the drunk scientist?
Oh,
guy?
Guy Baltar?
Yes.
I don't remember the actor's name.
That guy was like one of my.
But he
favorite
was like, the only other things I'd seen him in were like Bridget Jones' Diary 2. He had like a weird little role in that. I haven't even seen him in anything since, but he was so unbelievable.
Yeah, there's so many characters.
There's so many. Like, what about the moment where I think it might be in the 3rd season where like Guy Baltar's been with the Cylons, and then he reaches like they have contact with the Cylons again, and then you hear over the comm like his voice talking to them, and he's like, "This is Guy Baltar," and everybody's like, "Oh fuck." I remember I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm gonna stop talking because this is getting ridiculous.
No, but the
Next comment.
the best moment in Battlestar Galactica, and that everyone talks about, is the rescue mission to get them off that planet.
yeah, off New Caprica or whatever the fuck they called it.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Like, that is so great.
Look what you started,
What
Big
about-
Will.
I watched that. It's on YouTube. It's like you see the Battlestar Galactica, it drops.
Oh, it's so
and they do like the
amazing.
warp,
It's
and they're
incredible.
releasing all the fighters.
And the
and stuff.
shockwave that spreads out.
Oh my god, it's so great.
Because can you imagine? I think it should have done like more damage to the surrounding area, because you can imagine a Battlestar.
Yeah.
First of all, that's just free falling into a planet's atmosphere, like the sheer force of that, and then it making a jump
Yes.
like 6 feet above the ground. Should have like put a fucking crater in the planet. I don't know, but that was
Probably
amazing.
Did, but they didn't show it.
Oh no, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying like, trying to
Yeah,
understand
but boss is like kind of giving us like, okay, let's move on gesture.
But wait, one more thing. It was as great as that show was. Had some of the worst acting and with some people in it as well.
That's
like,
true. And
like
also
in
had
the
some
first
of the worst
season,
episodes.
Sharon, fucking Hilo.
So they,
God Almighty.
the guy was asking like what we're gonna do during the break. There's your little Battlestar Galactica talk. That's basically what it would be like.
Yeah.
We're probably not gonna do that.
Nah, probably not. But now, Amazing Larry. I am gonna go rewatch the series on Netflix.
That's all it takes, Big Will.
I'm sad that this dumb show isn't going to be on for a few months, and you guys will have to. No, but wait! Oxnard hasn't seen the first 3 seasons. Watch and review those until The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones return. Seriously, though, when is D&D coming back? We've got a few months to kill before Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead come back. Seems like a perfect time to crank out some D&D episodes. I mean, what the fuck? Just do it already, you assholes! Jesus! Your biggest fan, Kathy Bates.
Oh, Kathy.
I fully agree, and they're coming out.
It's so close. It's so close.
It's coming out.
Then there's some really
I don't know what else to say.
delicious treats of episodes coming up after that.
I feel bad releasing anything else because they're like, oh, this is fine, but where's that D&D?
Where's the thing we really
Exactly.
want? Yeah.
D&D, yeah.
It's like you just keep giving them appetizers before the main course.
What's next?
The Inventor, so I'll read this. The Inventor says, Tyrese and his dumb sister must suffer from whatever is the opposite of Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, for fuck's sake, the pair of them should never be in charge of prisoners. I will not miss either of them if they're killed off. I find their
Naivete.
I find their naivete after this length of time in a post-apocalyptic world really annoying. As much of a useless buffoon as Eugene is, at least he knows what it takes to survive.
Yeah, real quick, I agree with that. I like how Tyrese and Sasha, is that name right? They were talking about how, like, oh, maybe we're the same as we were before the everything went to hell. And I was thinking, well, that's terrible, because you're going to get killed. You have to change. You have to adapt.
Right.
Anyway, continue.
Also, why is Daryl turning into a pussy?
Yeah.
Rick was ready to go into the hospital, guns blazing, and the once tough hillbilly shits his pants and stops him? He then almost gets his ass handed to him by that cop, and again he stops Rick blowing the cop's brains out. Did I miss the episode? He went to a retreat somewhere to get in touch with his feminine side?
Yeah, he basically did with Beth.
Yeah.
And then they burned the cabin down, and they watched the... Remember that terrible song?
Yeah.
And the daughters are all crying, or whatever the fuck they were singing. Oh, God.
Yeah.
What's next?
Job 187.
Is it Job or Job?
Job.
Okay.
Why would it be Job?
I don't know, I just thought maybe this guy's trying to be biblical.
Check out the show The Nick on Cinemax. It's about medical care in the early 20th century. I'm really picky about shows, and this one is one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Have you guys heard of this show?
I've seen it. I very, very much enjoyed it.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was excellent. It was super well made. Clive Owen's fucking Clive Owen, mate.
Oh, okay.
He's fucking awesome. It's
Maybe I'll
like
watch
really well made. Steven Soderbergh directed every episode. It's like takes place in I think it's 1900 in New York City at the Knickerbocker Hospital, and he's like a cocaine addicted brilliant surgeon, and it's intense though. Like some things are super hard to watch. Like they fucking get in. It's like a pregnant woman. They're trying this procedure to get the baby out because like the baby has turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
So it was like something that was fairly common where they had to do this, but they could never succeed in getting the baby and the mother out. The baby out of the mother and both of them living.
Right.
So, like, right away, they're just like, all right, they just wash up, no gloves, slice in. You're like, the camera's right in there, and they're just, like,
Is it gruesome?
inside. It's hard to, it's not gruesome. Like,
It's just very medical.
yes, because of the medical aspect of it, that makes it watchable.
Right.
If it was like a context of like a horror film where somebody is screaming like, no, don't do that, and then they were doing it or whatever,
Yeah.
it would probably, I wouldn't be able to watch it, but and I still watched it like through my fingers in a lot of things. There were a couple of other moments where basically this one guy, the next in line to Dr. Thackeray for the chief of surgery, he like gets his baby sick. That was disturbing because they had like
purpose?
this
He got his
robot.
baby?
No, by accident completely. He's he's like a good. He's a racist, but other than that, he's like a decent human being. And that was disturbing because they had like this robotic baby. Oh, it was terrible. There were parts of that hard to watch. And then John Hodgman, who I'm a big fan of, was in later episodes as playing a real doctor. Who was like a psychiatrist. He worked at like this mental ward that this other character gets involved with, and he like removed the teeth of his patients because he believed that mental illness stemmed from poor dental hygiene.
Okay.
And as a precautionary measure, he removed the teeth of his own children.
Wow.
But yeah, it's so well made. I definitely recommend it to people who haven't seen it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's just it's intense, but it was very good. Very good.
Have you seen all the Sherlock Holmes movies?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
the two recent ones, and with Robert Downey Jr., and
Yeah.
I also really love the BBC series.
Now, is there any insinuation of his cocaine addiction?
Yes, there is.
There is?
Yeah, I think in the first one, actually, it is the first movie. He is struggling to understand, like, the main villain's plot and, like, how to bring him down, and I think something else happened which may have, like, had a somewhat traumatic effect on him, and he's, like, holed up above, like, this place where they have, like, underground boxing, in this room above there, like, studying the case, and he's, like, drinking out of these vials, and,
He's drinking, like...
Watson comes in and he's like finds him and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, this is they give this to patients for eye surgery, and it's cocaine.
Right.
So yeah, they allude to the fact that he takes substances and that he goes for long periods without sleeping and like all these kind of things.
I adore the Sherlock Holmes, like, novels and all the short stories, Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah.
I've read all of them, and that's always, like, that little tiny detail, like, Holmes, because Holmes is the one writing all the stories, and Holmes will say, like...
Watson is, you mean?
Watson is the one writing the story, I'm sorry. And he says,
You're not
like,
a fan.
his one affinity or his one vice is, like, the usage of the cocaine or something like that. And I always thought, like, that's such a fascinating little twist on the character.
Well, it's
that
also
like,
the way that they viewed the... I mean, in the Nick, for example, they view... It's like, oh, have you ever had cocaine before? It's like, it's a miracle drug.
Yeah,
we're going to give this to you, and your surgery, you won't feel a fucking thing.
Because when cocaine was a fairly recent drug that was developed, and I remember Sigmund Freud used to take it daily, and he would say, like, oh, this is amazing, it increases your libido, it's everything great, and then as time passed, you realize, oh, shit,
I'm in too deep now.
Yeah, like, I'm fucking addicted,
well,
this is horrible.
And what happened was, too, like, a lot of physicians that they touch upon anything with the Nick they would... It's like they tried to make it very historically accurate as well. They had like a historian like who studied medical history and stuff. But I heard an interview with a guy who basically said these doctors they would try things on themselves all the time.
Oh yeah,
and to know if a drug worked, they would take it.
Yes.
So I mean, cocaine addiction among medical professionals at that time period was rampant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but they definitely touch upon that in the thing, and like I said, in the
I want to
time
watch
period,
those
it's
movies because I saw like a little clip of it.
Oh, they're very fun. They're very enjoyable.
The cinematography in one, like they use like this kind of camera, like it looks like the head is perfectly in balance or perfectly corresponding with the way the camera moves and stuff. It looked like very interesting how they filmed
You would
it.
love the cinematography and the camera work in the Nick, absolutely. Because they have this camera and these lenses that they have now. It's unbelievable because there are scenes that are lit only by candle, maybe by like a single candle.
Nice.
And that's the lens is able to beautifully film the scene, and
Those
that's like all
NASA
they're
lenses
using.
that they gave to
Yeah, it's
Stanley
like-
Kubrick
they
because he
call it
faked the
like-
moon landings.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the same lens they used on the Hubble telescope, but they gave it to him. Thanks, Stan. But yeah, it's beautifully shot, and I really especially for me, the first Sherlock Holmes movie I liked more than the second one. But Jared Harris plays Moriarty in the second film, and he's an awesome actor.
All right, thanks, Job 187.
Boss is miserable right now. He's just sitting
talked
there
for 20 minutes
watching
about
the
something.
Walking Dead episode we watched for the third time.
All right, a crazy guy you know.
What are you guys going to do until The Walking Dead returns in February? Game of Thrones doesn't come back until April. Will you guys review something else? Thematically, a similar show to The Walking Dead I've heard is HBO's The Leftovers. I haven't seen it, but it's on my to-watch list. I mean, there's no shortage of great TV, drama, and even comedy.
Ever heard of that show?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I think Damon Lindelof, whatever, one of the guys from Lost, he's involved with that show. There's a show coming on HBO soon. I think, is his name Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother? He works on all of the movies with Christopher Nolan, Interstellar,
Really?
Inception, The Dark Knight. Yeah, he's developed this series, this sci-fi series that's going to be on HBO. I'm not sure exactly when. I think we have a little while yet. But then also, Amazing Larry had tweeted us a link about with an article about how Jonathan Nolan is supposedly going to be developing a Foundation series based off the first three novels, or the original three novels, I should say.
please.
And he was
do
like,
that
and I
well.
felt promising because I like the Nolan films. I just saw Interstellar. I really liked it a lot. But basically, this guy was saying, like, his books are fucking great. Everyone should fucking read the Foundation novels. That's what he was saying in this article. Like,
Boss.
everybody should fucking read them.
Read Foundation.
Which I completely agree. Yeah. All right, well, that's solved.
Can you imagine Christopher Nolan directing Foundation, like a series?
Well,
with
I think it would. I don't know if Christopher Nolan would, but that would be incredible.
The music of Hans Zimmer.
Oh, God,
and, like,
please. That would be incredible.
And a series is perfect because every episode would have that cliffhanger ending where that just makes you go like, what the fuck? Oh, man. It's so ripe with great possibilities.
What's good is that it would be a series, because that's how it has to be made. It can't
Yeah,
be
movie
fucking
wouldn't work.
movies. Roland Emmerich.
A movie wouldn't work.
Cock!
Yeah.
Yeah, movie would not work. Also, it just reminded me, a link to the earlier comment about Battlestar. Bear McCreary did the music for Battlestar. He does the music for Walking Dead. So there's your
true.
link right there.
There you go.
Who's next?
Amazing Larry. That's you, Dexter.
Oh, man. Lately, I've been imagining the American West as a spin-off location. It would be a stark visual departure from the woods and small southern towns the dictatorship is always traveling through. How about a group of survivors that make their way down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and build a fort down there? Or a group that reclaims the Anasazi cliff dwellings in Arizona? Gigantic herds of walkers roaming the open plains like the buffalo and dances with wolves. That could be an awesome setting, in my humble opinion.
Thoughts? Comments?
I like those ideas.
I think that... no, I think that... well, I was going to say
What
something.
else could you possibly think?
Well,
this
no, I
whole
can't-
episode.
I can't say... What, you think I talk too much?
No.
Because I definitely do.
What do you think?
No, I can't say because I don't want to spoil anything for the
Yeah,
comic.
don't
for the,
spoil.
from the comics. But something happens. I think they were going to... one of my thoughts was they were going to kind of show the origin of something, of another place maybe that happens, something maybe from the comics. I don't know. I can't go into any more detail. Can't go into any more detail, guys.
No, I like that setting, the open plains, like the Old West, which, again, spaghetti western.
AMC has that show, Hell on Wheels, which basically takes place in Nebraska in the open plains.
Really?
Yeah, it's like about this Confederate soldier who the Civil War just ended. He's out for revenge against this Union platoon that like came to his house and raped his wife and killed his kid in like Sherman's March on the South. And he ends up tracking a guy to like this railroad being built, and it's out in Nebraska, and then he ends up like working there. But it's all about like a lot of different dynamics going on from the time, and like the Cheyenne Indians, but it's on the plains out there. It's a pretty good show. I don't think I would watch it normally. It's different when you're watching it on Netflix.
All right.
But I think we talked about that last week.
I think basically what we're really craving is like a different setting for the zombie apocalypse, because Walking Dead, it's always been so limited because you're just in this general vicinity of Atlanta and stuff. You want to see the zombie apocalypse how it would be like in a jungle in the tundra of Alaska or in Canada.
Wouldn't they just freeze up?
Yeah, or you want to see it in like New York City or Tokyo.
That's what I think. I think India would be a very terrifying.
Yeah, you want to see it on a cruise ship. You want to see.
Oh yeah,
you just want to
cruise ship.
see like all these different possibilities that could play out, and you just hope that they do them well and stuff like that.
How about in the Pentagon, locked down?
Ooh, how about on the secret moon base, where the real president lives?
Area 51.
Yeah.
Where they created
Where the shadow government headquarters are. They're the ones that perpetrated this whole scheme.
Echo Argo says, if you guys are looking for some more entertainment when The Walking Dead is off air,
Suggestions.
you should check out the comic called Crossed. While you're at it, search for Crossed comic on Google and look at the images. I want to hear reactions. I looked this up. I sent you a text and I was like, why do our listeners want us to look up the most fucked up things?
Oh yeah, I didn't know what you were referring to because I didn't look it up.
Yeah, I looked up this comic.
It's fucked up.
And I looked up the a little synopsis of the comic. Basically, what happens in the comic.
Whoa.
There's a thing between his butt.
what happens in the comic is that there's a disease that starts spreading across the globe. And what it does, it makes people purposely act out their most evil thoughts. And so,
Oh my god.
that was the idea. And this comic, I was looking it up. So I looked up a few images. One image was a guy fucking raping a dolphin in his blowhole.
Oh my god.
2 kids were like carving their mother in half with like a saw.
Yeah, I'm looking at images with Boss right now.
Yeah.
It's not... I'm not reading this comic. Echo Argo, you sick bastard.
Yeah.
So that's the reaction. We don't really want to talk about it. It sounds horrible. I'm sure the artwork is great.
Basically, every episode would be 45 minutes of us going, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm surprised like a comic. I'm surprised, but also I'm happy that a comic like that can be published. Because, you know...
Yeah,
I'd be
what a
annoyed
wonderful world.
If you couldn't publish that, then I would be like, yeah, you should be able to publish that. But it's, you know, it's not my thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to read it.
All right.
But it definitely is. It's certainly an interesting concept.
Sure.
And the artists who are working on that
If you're
comic,
out there and you're an artist and you're good at drawing,
they got some guts.
and this is the stuff you like to draw, go ahead and draw that, I guess.
Who's next? Amazing Larry.
Mid-season finale. The hospital story arc was one of the most pointless story arcs in the history of television. If anyone says they clearly understood the motivation of those characters, they are lying.
Amazing Larry did not like this mid-season finale.
I know, clearly.
I don't
He had
think
a lot
we
to
liked
say.
it either, really.
Yeah, we didn't.
No. Well, it also is a mid-season finale. This is like a kind of new thing that happens where people expect the same, kind of shocking things or importance from a regular finale.
I don't know about that. It's just that this whole hospital thing really didn't come to anything.
They did it poorly. Like, if I was a teacher and I was grading this and a student wrote this, like...
D, C?
I gave it like a C minus.
C minus, eh?
Like, it's not...
Take that, writers.
I don't care. Like, you have to give me something more. Give me something to care about. I said last week, like, Daryl should have been the one who was kidnapped. Then I would have cared more. And also, give me a MacGuffin. Give me a reason why these police people are, like, so involved in, like, trying to rule this roost. And all
It just seems like they're involved in it because they get to do whatever they want.
Yeah, and also, don't stretch it out. You can't stretch it out because then...
I'm telling you, it
You
was
lose the
for
momentum.
a reason, though. I'm telling you, they filled it like that because they want to bridge this gap. I'm hoping we'll see in the second half of the season an introduction of a new arc that was like.
You know what
was
awesome would have been? Like, Abraham and them on the fire truck, and they had to deal with the massive horde that they came across. That would have been awesome. Like, show that. Like, show me how, like, oh, maybe we can manipulate these zombie hordes in some certain way, and, like, maybe show a character like, hey, we can use these zombies to our advantage. Maybe, like, they're attracted to a certain thing, so these people are a threat. These people in the hospital are a threat. You guess what? We can attract a horde there or something like that. You know, anything.
Yeah.
Now I'm sitting through.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's not the season's not over. There's a whole half left.
Yeah.
It's just we gotta wait a couple months now. Mm-hmm. It's just annoying.
All right, so I guess we'll be talking about Walking Dead in February. Okay, thanks for listening. Look forward to our future content. I probably will be devoting a lot of time to D&D stuff.
Yeah!
Also follow us on Twitter at STS Dexter, at STS Oxnard, at the STS Boss, at Pilkin.
Sorta, I guess.
What's Pilkins?
Don't worry about it.
Anyway. All right. Have a good break from Walking Dead. Check out our other shit.
Yeah. Watch out for zombies.
Bye.
Bye.